There are two words that are thrown around a lot, these two words, and I want to talk about it for a couple of minutes, these two words. There's something called Das Torah. Das Torah. It's two words, and I want to talk about what Das Torah is. I want to talk about what Das Torah is precisely, my understanding of it. It's an important topic, Das Torah, and somebody was arguing with Reb Moshe. Somebody was arguing with Reb Moshe about a psak. It had to do with artificial insemination, and somebody criticized Reb Moshe Feinstein. He gave a leniency. A certain psak in halacha gave a leniency. And somebody argued with Reb Moshe. Reb Moshe said to the person in very, very nice ways, where's Daniel? Daniel, can we... It just went... Somebody argued with Reb Moshe. If you stay next to me, because you'll get it back when we... I'm going to show it in 2 minutes. We'll go back there. It's off it. How do you get it back? So somebody... Stay here. You want to do it in 2 minutes? I'll be right back. So somebody argued with Reb Moshe about this topic of artificial insemination. And Reb Moshe told them that you don't understand. You have biases to try to be strict, to try to be religious, to try to be very frum. I have spent my whole life just studying Torah. My mind is trained, what does Hashem want from me? I don't care to be strict or lenient or frum or not. I'm not trying to be a frummy. I try to care what does Hashem want. I try to really tap into what's called Das Torah. Reb Moshe had a brain that was molded by Torah, by Ratzon Hashem, by Hashem's view of things, and Reb Moshe's brain was literally developed by the way Hashem thinks. That's Reb Moshe's brain. My father once told me, my father finishes Shas every year, and he once told me, why do I do that? Read it again, what am I doing? He said, I want to think like the Gemara. I want my mindset to be like the Gemara. That's how my mind should work. There's something called Das Torah, but somebody who really studies and is mivatel themselves to Das Hashem, to the point that the way they think about things is from a Torah perspective. That's how they think from this godly view of things, and that's something, a very, very specific thing. Somebody asked me recently, called the shah, I want to hear Das Torah. I don't have Das Torah. We throw it around too much. Yichidei Adar have what's called Das Torah. They come from a Torah vantage point. They absorb Torah. They understand Torah. They're mivatel themselves to Torah. And as such, their view of the world is what's called Das Torah. A very rare, and you could ask them shaylas on all different things, and they have what's called Das Torah. There's a tzaddik that I've come to appreciate a lot. His name is Reb Shaul Alter. My son and I try B'li Neder every single week. For the last many months, I try to read his shiurim from the week every single Erev Shabbos. Shabbos morning. What I try before davening is to have a seder to read his Torah. I find specifically on Shabbos, I feel at certain places, and I like tapping into what he says about Torah, about life. And this is my own opinion. I feel this is a yiddu as Das Torah. It's a yid who is steeped in learning Torah. His Avas Yisrael, I can sense. I've watched interviews of his and speeches of his. His Avas HaTorah, his Avas Yisrael, his Avas HaTorah, his Avas Hashem is profound. And I find he has a Das Torah. I want to share with you, does everybody here know the Serenity Prayer? Hands, who knows the Serenity Prayer? So first of all, you should know the Serenity Prayer. Chachma b'Goyim Tamin. There's wisdom by the Goyim. I would like the guys to learn the Serenity Prayer because it's wisdom from the Goyim that's true. I want you to hear Reb Shaul Alter says that he could smell that it's not Jewish. He obviously likes the prayer. He could smell it's not Jewish. He says that. I sense it's not Jewish. I want to read to you the Torah way that he says to say it, and then I want to ask around what his correction is. I want to ask guys, I want guys in Yisrael, I want guys here to share with us. You're entitled to opinion as much as me. It's interesting. He heard the Serenity Prayer. He obviously liked it because he quotes it in the Shir. He's a Yid, Kol HaTorah Kula is open to him. A beautiful Yid, Reb Shaul Alter. He's the Rosh Yeshiva of Ger, of the Ger Hasidim. Beautiful Talmud Chacham, is Abbas Yisrael. He's gone around. I saw a video during this matziv. He's visited Yidden who were hurt in that original attack. A beautiful, beautiful Yid, Reb Shaul Alter. He quotes the Serenity Prayer, not exact. He quotes the way he remembered, quoted the Serenity Prayer, and then he called it that it's a little goyish, though he likes it. He clearly quoted and liked it. And he says the Torah version, what he would call the Yiddish version of it. So I feel somebody with Das Torah, I want you to hear his little correction. I'm going to ask what the guys hear in his correction. And then just the prayer itself, the Serenity Prayer is wonderful. And his Torah version of it is obviously magical. So here goes. What? The words are, could I stop it? The words are, how do I go back now? Double tap. Okay. The words are, Hashem, give me the courage. God, give me the courage to change what I can change. Give me the courage to accept what I cannot change. So I want, there's not the exact version of the Serenity Prayer. It doesn't matter to me. But God, give me the courage to change what I can change. Give me the strength to accept what I cannot change. So here's the exact one. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That is the Serenity Prayer that Rav Shaul Alter quotes. God, grant me the serenity. The serenity means the calm, the Yishuv Hadas. Give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. There are things that I can't change, and I should accept. Hashem runs the world. Sit back. Stop trying to control things, dominate things, run things. Accept. Give me the serenity, the calmness, the Yishuv Hadas, to accept things I can't change, to accept, to be comfortable, to flow with it, to roll with it. The courage to change the things I can. We could work on ourselves. We could change things. Give me the courage to change what I can change and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. What are things that I could change and what are things that I have to accept? That is the Serenity Prayer, a beautiful prayer to God and a tremendous truth that's a truth in all of our lives. So that's the Serenity Prayer. If I can now read Reb Shaul Alter, what he says about this. Okay. He quotes the Serenity Prayer of Shaul Alter, and then I'm just going to read from the bottom of the... This, to me, has a slightly non-Jewish smell to it. With apologies to anyone who has this phrase written around, I would like to express the same prayer in a Jewish manner. We don't want anything to be changed. The Rebbeinu Shalom runs the world capably. So he says we want nothing to be changed. God, give me the strength to do what you demand of me, what you ask from me in the current situations, and give me the strength to trust in you when it comes to matters that are not in my hands and I cannot change. And give me the wisdom to differentiate in times of confusion, doubt and fog, to know which areas I need to act and which areas I need to trust in you. That's what he writes. So again, we don't want to change. He says as follows. We don't want anything to be changed. The Rebbeinu Shalom runs the world capably. God, give me the strength to do what you demand of me, what you ask of me in the current situation. And he says, and then that's how Rav Shaul Alter redefines this serenity prayer. Avi, you hear the? Let's go back to what the Umas Ha'olam say intelligently. The Goyim say Chachmas HaGoyim, and then we're going to get Das Torah. The Chachmas HaGoyim is a prayer to Hashem. Give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. The courage to change that which I could change. And the wisdom to differentiate between the two. That's the serenity prayer. Reb Shaul Alter says that to him, it smells a little not Jewish, which he accepts, and he says, no, he apologizes, a very soft, he's not a harsh person in the slightest. But he says the Jewish, we don't want to change. We don't want to change. We're not looking to change. We accept what Hashem does. Give me, he says, the serenity to accept that which I can't change. And that which Hashem wants of me, that which Hashem wants me to do, that which Hashem's asking me to do, I should be able to do, and the wisdom to differentiate between the two. Avi, do you hear the subtle difference? Moshe and I talk a lot about this, that Hashem made a world that works. He made a very, very good world that works. And Hashem does an excellent job running this world, an excellent, excellent job running the world. The job of all of us, Hashem wants something from us. We're not trying to change, we're not trying to enter into realms to do different, to change Hashem's world. We're trying to express the things that are deeply inside of us that we can express. If I summed up Steigen Yakiv in the most honest of ways, I went this morning, I was zeicher to go to a rehab. Rehabs are very, very holy places. Very, very holy places. It bothers me a lot in schools. They'll sometimes tell youngsters, if you keep doing this, I'm going to have to send you to rehab. That gets me. If anybody would ever say to a kid in a yeshiva, if you misbehave, if you keep behaving, I'm going to send you to Waterbury, there's a tragic line to that. You never, a beis medrash, you never say on something holy and special, it's never a punishment. Never, ever, ever. A beis medrash, a yeshiva, a makam Torah is never a punishment. Do you know any parent in the world that would tell you, kid, if you misbehave, I'm going to make you learn Chumash? That's a damaging and dangerous and tragic thing ever to say, ever. You never, ever punish your kid to do something true and something real and sincere. Ever. A yeshiva is never allowed to give detention, never. If a yeshiva does it, they're just wrong. They're making a mistake. They have to do tshuva. You never, ever say to sit in yeshiva for a minute is a schus. Never. There's never an einish. You could make it. You can't come into the beis medrash. There used to be guards at the door in the time the Gemara. They didn't say somebody has to stay in the beis medrash longer. If you weren't toichei kibara, you can't enter in the beis medrash. Don't judge if yeshiva does detention. It's just a mistake. Human beings make mistakes. Don't judge anybody harshly. They don't mean it's not thought out. It can never be an einish to sit in the beis medrash. It's a schus. We have in the morning, Nurse Ralph comes in here and sits here for 20 minutes every single morning. He comes in here and sits here for 20 minutes during Shachris. He told me, I just experienced something. I feel something in here. I experience something in this room. And he sits and he thinks he likes being here during Shachris. It's never an einish to sit in yeshiva, to sit in the beis medrash, to sit by davening. Your kid's never punished to sit by davening. There's no such thing. Sit down, kid. Don't ever in the chinuch of your kid. It's a schus. to come to davening, to learn Hashem's Torah is a schus. It's never a punishment, ever. It's you're corrupting somebody's mind to ever give it like that. It's a schus to learn, to daven. I want to say on Rehabs are places that human beings try to find themselves and grow and get healthy and work through things. Those are holy places. You never could say to somebody, I'll send you there. What are you talking? What words are you saying? That's a place that people are working. Lahavdil. It's not a yeshiva. It's not ordinary for any Rebbe to ever say to a guy, I'll send you, you don't know what something is. A place where people learn and work to grow and are honest and find themselves should never be a threat. I'll send you there. That's heresy and just very dangerous, corrupt. So I was zeicha this morning to go visit somebody who's working on himself to become a strong, healthy Eved Hashem, and went to Riyah, but I was zeicha this morning to go visit this person. And at Riyah, people are really working on getting to the essence of their being, finding out who they are. The person showed me, a letter that they wrote, an uplifted, an elevated letter that they wrote. It was Naira. I started unfailing me. Manny, your father who struggles to feel, I just started crying. I wasn't embarrassed, thankfully. I learned from the guys here to feel. I read a beautiful Yid, wrote a letter of his truths. He's a person who's getting in touch with his truths, his own essence, his own self. And we were talking, he's involved in the construction of self. And we were talking about what growth means, and he was saying it from the most honest places. You don't say stupidity there, you're fighting for your life. You're fighting for your life, to be successful, to live a beautiful life. And we were discussing, and he was saying, do you know the journey to steiging? Everybody wants to steig. What's the journey? Do you know the journey to steiging is to be the most you? Shloime, you're trying to be the most Shloime Shaykh. That's steiging. Hashem says Avram and Avram in the Torah. By great people, God calls their name, and it says Avram. It says it twice. It means that Avram who became Avram. The ikar of your life is to be you, is to be the essence of you, to find that steiging. That's the only steiging I know. Is Avi Beitler is being Avi Beitler, that's steiging. And all his journey of the next years and years of steiging and growing means to be Avi. That he discovers what it means to be Avi and brings out Avi. Each of us are handed a precious soul and have something beautiful to bring out to the world. That's uniquely me and uniquely you. And the steiging is to be the most you shaykh in the world and to bring out you in the world. That's the world of steiging. We were talking about this thing about bringing out. We're not trying to make changes. Hashem made that which is good. We're trying to bring out. Hashem asks each person to bring to the world something they could bring to the world. And Hashem asked each person to bring that out, that which they can bring to the world, to bring it out to the world. And Reb Shaul Alter said that the question every person, the challenge each person, what the situation, and he was talking specifically in today's difficult situation. And he said that the avodah is that which Hashem does, to accept, to have a faith, to have an honest faith, to accept that which Hashem does, to have an acceptance. He says by wars more than anything in the world. It says Hashem ish, it brings a chazal. Hashem ish mulchama. Human beings don't create wars. That's totally from Hashem. There's like very little bechir when it comes to wars. Hashem ish mulchama. And accept difficult things, very difficult things that we're in good hands. Hashem knows what He's doing. And accept the things we can't control. Accept His control. Accept, have faith. Real emunah, Hashem runs the world and we're in good hands. A deep, deep faith in Hashem. Many aspects of our life, accepting this is the right thing. I'm in good hands, and it's the right thing for me. That faith of many aspects of our life, our siblings, our parents, our situation, so many things we stress over, so many things we don't accept about our own history, our own past, the own stories of our life. I'm in good hands, except, by the way, even yesterday's mistakes that you made, you should accept. Today you woke up, your whole history is Hashgachas Hashem. And you woke up to this and accepting with faith, I'm in good hands. I'm in great hands with Hashem. That's step number one. Step number two is to ask, what does Hashem want from me? What can I bring out to the world? What does Hashem want from me? What in this situation, what beauty, what chiyus can I bring out to the world? And the wisdom to know the difference. The chachma to understand what's something I'm supposed to do and accomplish and bring out to the world that's beautifully in me, and what's something that I'm supposed to accept at this. Say that again. I don't want to blame Goyim. I want to tell you why it hit me so hard. I'm going to tell you a little story, Chevra. I'm going to tell you a little story that happened to me. This is not like, there's not a cute story. It's an unfolding story of my life, and I want to tell it to you. I'm moved. I sat in this Rehab this morning, and I showed this video of Reb Shaul Alter. I felt to show this video. And because this was brought up, people finding and discovering self and discovering their own innate beauty and the beauty Hashem made and living with Hashem. So I want to tell you a little bit my journey, what I discovered here, what the guys in the yeshiva have taught me. I may be oversimplifying, perhaps, but it's an aspect that I've learned here. I want to share this with Zevi. I don't know how many more days we have Zevi, but every day we have and appreciate. David Clare has showed up back home, one of the most kind people, one of the most beautiful midas we've ever had. A sweet, sensitive, uplifted person. David Clare, he flew in. He's in America. The Yid was in the middle of steiging in Eretz Yisrael. He hopped on a plane. His friend was in Avelos. He got on a plane to be with his friend. With tremendous intelligence, he was in the house helping, knowing when to pull back, not be in the way, when to get with sensitivity and care. He sat in the base Avel for a week. So I want to share this with you, David. I want to share a little bit my journey. I came here, I started a school, David, about 15 years ago. I started a school, and what I thought I'm going to do, I was a guy who can produce, who was producing a little bit. I had some production. I knew some Masechtas, I knew a little Torah, and I was producing. I was keeping Shabbos, I was producing. And I always knew that it felt good to do what's right. There's a certain good feeling. You do what's right. It's right to do what's right. It's right to do what's right, and it gives a good feeling. And do what's right. And I would get people to perform. Let's open a yeshiva and help people perform. Show them that let's get people to perform well, because it feels good to do what's right. Along the way here, I met souls that I saw people, and I saw people feeling a lot. And I saw the experience, forget performing and doing. I started noticing along the way, I see guys sit by a Shabbos Zmiris, and I'm witnessing a soul found something that is matim for them. A soul connected to something in an experience, deeper than the seichel. I have found people connect with something that they just, I was born for this and I connect to this. And I found guys who were very, very sensitive to the world within, to their own feelings, their own understandings of self, asking questions of who they are, what I'm into, in a world that ran deeper than just performing and thinking about it to experiencing something. to understanding something. I met people who understood themselves well, understood the experiences of life, and they'd be experiencing Shabbos, and it actually fit, it made sense. Today, because of the guys, when I sit Shalosh Shudas, I feel Shabbos. I experience Shalosh Shudas the most. The whole Shabbos is gorgeous Shalosh Shudas. You can experience something that's different. You could tap into something and experience it in a whole different way. What I think, Maishi, what I think a lot is Yidden have a certain faith, a certain profound connection to Hashem. We're sensitive to godliness. We can experience Hashem more. And it's less about making change in the world and bringing goodness than experiencing the goodness that's here already. We're hypersensitive to it. To a guy who sees a world, and there's a lot of darkness here, and he wants to create light, and I sense that the Yid sees the light that exists here, the Miloi Chalaretz Kvaydai, and we're built hypersensitive, and that's what I learned from the guys. I learned from the guys that you can actually experience, discover, uncover the goodness and the sweetness that's everywhere. You could actually tap into it. This is a beautiful world and tremendous opportunity in our world to experience beautiful things. Hashem's here. Goodness is here. Kindness is here. Specialness. You can experience it in each other. You can see it in others. So the guy, I think, who has more of a superficial view, they don't have the sensitivity, the spiritual sensitivity of the Yid. They don't have the soul of a Yid. So the emphasis a lot is on making change, changing the world, fixing the world. You have good people. I don't know much about Elon Musk. A Bacher was telling me about it. I don't know much about him. I never met him. I don't know him. But he's going to fix the world, change the world, heal the world, whatever he wants to do. And then Yidden who are built much more sensitive, who see Hashem. And we could tap into what's here, and we could tap into a tremendous art that exists in the world. So all of a sudden, Reb Shaul Alter approaching the same thing doesn't say the courage to change what I can, accept what I can change, and change. He actually sees in the world that I accept and see Yad Hashem, and I actually have a calling in this world. I could tap into something. I'm not looking to change anything. I have a calling and something I can bring out and bring into this world. That's how I see the difference. I could be wrong. I don't have Das Torah. Reb Shaul Alter does. It's the way I'm seeing what Reb Shaul Alter. Does it sound right to you, Maish? I have watched guys in yeshiva at first steiging, and the guy externally, I'm doing well, no, and he looks very firm. Then he drops that, and to the external eyes, he's falling. He dropped performances, and the external eye says the guy's falling. I think he's steiging more than ever in his life. Now, we'll get back to those external actions, but he's steiging because he's finding him. And of course, him will put on tefillin and daven and learn, but it's from within. He found him. So I told a very close friend of mine, I said, you're growing tremendously. Don't you see I'm struggling? I said, I see you're growing a lot. He said, no, I'm struggling. You're struggling in doing things that you don't feel are you, and now you're actually finding you. You will shine. You will shine. You will shine. When the person's himself and expressions of self, of course there's a Torah. That's the deepest place is the Torah. And the Yid will connect the Torah and understand Torah. And even in Zevi, even in our learning, to sit down with a piece of Gemara, as you not pressured to say a svara this one wants to say and that one, not pressured, just learn the Torah and hear the Torah talk to you. Let you and your soul and Torah connect to each other. You'll bring out beautiful things in Torah. You'll bring out, and Torah will bring beautiful things out of you. So this is what I wanted to share with you for starters. We need a song. I'm too worked up, so we need a song from Chaim, and then I want to welcome Chaim's Yisrael is here.
Shout out, hey, how you doing?
Then we'll start Mr. Bad right after this song. You agree, Abby?
Good show, Rabbi. It's a mad different view from us, you know what I'm saying? It's a mad different view, like everybody's looking at you guys. So just chat. It's good. Your shops.
Sometimes it may seem far, but you don't know how close you are in your words and in your heart to be who you really are. You don't know how good, you don't know how good it is for you and for me. You don't know how good, you don't know how good it is for you and for me. Sometimes it may seem far, but you don't know how close you are in your words and in your heart to be who you really are. You don't know how good, you don't know how good it is for you and for me. You don't know how good, you don't know how good it is for you and for me. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Rumble.
Nobody. Nope.
Oh my god. I don't know how to play it. I'm gonna learn it for you. I just don't know how to play it.
Holy fleece.
So what's mine?
I don't know.
Ooh, you're a thing. It's a crazy child. You're a Show me what you got. Yeah. Come on.
Down.
They're doing another song. So funny. Booty.
I just say the wolf pack is saved.
Oh, wow. Oh, you got change that. He's wearing a coat. When I search for you, it's hard to see. Sometimes when you call for me, it's hard to hear. Sometimes, but I know that you love me so. But I know that you love me so. Let's go, everybody.
Easily the cutest baby of all time.
The Israel?
Yeah, he's mad cute.
I wanna read a pasuk in the Torah. I'd like to read a pasuk in the Torah with the chevra that is moving to me, and I'd like to read it to the chevra. When a person is expressing what they're supposed to express, what Hashem wants them to express to this world, then their actions have tremendous importance. There's a tremendous importance and depth to the action of the one who's bringing out something that Hashem wants him to bring to this world. A person whose all their activities matter and are significant. The person who walks into the dining room and eats, and he's eating a suda, he's taking care of goimel nafsha yish chassid, he's taking care of his body, and he's feeding himself as Hashem is mitzaveh the person to do. All his activities take on a very profound meaning. There was a tzaddik, his name was Reb Segal, the Manchester Rav. The Manchester Rav was Reb Segal. He lived in England. And before he did all the activities of his life, he would say a pasuk that Hashem told him to do that activity. He would be crossing the street. He would say, "Ushmartem ma'od l'nafshe seichem." He would read the pasuk that God was mitzaveh yid to guard his life. He would look both ways, and there was a tremendous sense this activity is eternal. The human being functioning lifnei Hashem, and the activity, there's schar for the activity, there's reward, there's eternity, there's a profound importance to this action. There's a certain dignity of dress that people have when they live this way. They dress a certain way. There's a certain way they function and flourish. I was zeicha to see Rev Avigdor Miller walk. You could see in the way he walked, he had a regalness. There was a class and a dignity how Reb Miller walked. He walked the walk of somebody who knew that his walking was chashuv. He would move his body. There was purpose. There was value. There was a princely sense. This matters a lot. He was somebody who was a loyalist to Hashem, who understood that Hashem cares about his actions and activities. That's the way a person of God, a person who understands that we're shaykh to Hashem and Hashem wants things from us and gives us opportunity to function lifnei Hashem, and his activities mattered a lot. If you watch Reb Miller, there was a princeliness to his very way of walking and behaving. And when Esav has a moment where he has a weakness, and he forgets about eternity. He said, "Anochi hoylech lamas, v'lama zeli b'chayra." It became insignificant, unimportant. His own activities became unimportant. Do I even matter? Anochi hoylech lamas. And the pasuk describes, contrasts Yaakov and Esav. A Yaakov whose activities, he functions as a person that's shaykh to godliness, that's shaykh to eternity, whose actions matter. Yaakov nasan le'esav lechem u'nezir adashim. Yaakov hands, and the Torah is lengthy about Yaakov's action. Yaakov, it says his name because it matters forever. Yaakov gave to Esav bread and nezir adashim. He did this pu'ula, this action, that the Torah is lengthy in the words of what Yaakov Avinu did because it matters forever. Yaakov handed. He handed to Esav lechem nezir adashim. Then the Torah switches over to the narrative about Esav, who's lost his sense of meaning, of purpose, and it says about Esav, "Vayochal vayesh vayakam vayelech." 4 words, 4 verbs in a row. He ate, he drank, he stood up, and he left. Vayochal vayesh vayakam vayelech. Vayiz Esav b'chayra. Esav had been mevayish to b'chayra. He had some destiny. He had some mission from Hashem. Some sense of purpose, as every human being does, every tzelem Elokim. Certainly Esav, who has the halacha of a yid. The Gemara Kedushin tells us that Esav is a yid, and he has a very, very important mission. There's a mission for Esav. And somehow Esav lost that sense of mission. He said, "Anochi hoylech lamas." He didn't understand that the eternal value of himself, the value of his mission, and he sells his b'chayra. He's mivaz his b'chayra, and it describes Esav, "Vayochal vayesh vayakam vayelech." He eats, he drinks, he stands up, and he leaves. 4 verbs in a row. There's no It should say Vayochel Esav in Esav 8. There's an Esav, it's attached to his essence. Esav who always remains. Esav who's in Olam Haba today. Should say Vayochel Esav. Vayochel Vayesh Vayakim Vayelech. There's no descriptions of any of these activities. It lost its chashivas. It lost the attachment to the person. The person was living anaychi haylech lamas. I'm just going to die. There's no eternity. So his actions lose their chashivas. The contrast of Yaakov nasan le'esav lechem v'nezir adashim. By the activities of Yaakov Avinu, it's attached to him. Yaakov handed Esav. The whole activity matters a lot. A person functioning with eternity. Somebody who's functioning, a person that Hashem has a mission for me. It's not Anochi Hoylech Lamas. Hashem has a mission and a purpose and a want for me to express and bring out godliness to this world. So then all their activities and all their details of their activity matter, eternally matter. The Svarim, the Sifrei Chasidus are lined with stories. They're very, very full of stories. Happens to be stories because experiences matter a lot. In the world of Chasidus, taps very much into, even deeper than Seichel, which definitely is true, their experiences, but it has a lot of stories because the comings and going, the worldly travels of the tzaddik matter, are eternally important. We're part of a Torah where Yaakov Avinu lies his head. It matters a lot where Yaakov Avinu lies his head when he goes to sleep at night. Wow. The tzaddik is significant where he lies down. We have a Torah that tells us somebody's in the shower, how they wash their body. What do you wash first matters a lot. Not because just an external, superficial person could see that there's so many laws. I'm in the shower. It matters where I wash first. I don't know, take a shower. So you could see it as a lot of laws. A person's getting dressed in the morning. You're kidding me? What shoe I should put on first? This is so restrictive. What shoe I should put on first? There's a law. There's something so much deeper. There's eternity to each action. To the shower, the Yid goes into the shower. The Eved Hashem, so there's laws dictating his trip to the shower. It's not the pshat just, okay, he's a loyalist, always lifnei Hashem, but his activities are very, very significant. Each activity has an eternal nature to it. He's a person functioning lifnei Hashem. And as such, he washes his head first. The Yid first washes his head, his mind. There's an importance and an eternity. And the contrast in this pasuk of somebody who's not hoylech lamus, just everything, nothing matters. Somebody who's part of the Jewish nation, who understands that Hashem has a purpose and a tafkid, and I matter for all eternity because the Eternal One has something He wants from me, something I could bring out. So on Yaakov Avinu's activity, it's Yaakov gave Esav lechem and Nezir Adashim. There's a pasuk we study forever. I could picture like a dramatic broadcaster, like speaking. The Torah, which is eternal, describes forever Yaakov handed Esav lechem and Nezir Adashim. That's an eternal pasuk. Because Yaakov, upon the instructions of his mama, Yaakov Avinu, who later we see he does actions, but he's told by his mother to steal, to go and acquire the Bechira, to go and acquire the brachas. From Yitzchak Avinu over here, Yaakov has a sense and understands that Hashem wants him to have the Bechira, and Yaakov as such takes and gives Lechem and Nezir Adashim to Esav. That event is recorded with both names. It's a very, very important and meaningful and significant event that Yaakov handed to Esav Lechem Nezir Adashim. And then the Torah Akdaisha switches over to Esav, who's lost an attachment to his deeds. It doesn't say an Esav, Ayoichel Esav. He lost an attachment to his deeds, a sense. So it says Vayoichel Vayesh Vayakam Vayelech. You're almost left guessing who did all that. And Yaakov handed Esav Lechem Nezir Adashim. On Yaakov Avinu's action, it describes the person handing to Esav. Yaakov handed Esav Lechem Nezir Adashim. It's attached to the person. It matters forever. And Esav, who's lost the sense, Anochi Haylech Lamus, I don't count, I don't matter, my sense of mission is lost. It doesn't say, it should say, Vayoichal Esav, Vayesht, Vayakam, Vayelech. It should be attached to a person. It doesn't say the name. It says, and he ate and he drank and he stood up and he left. Left who's he? But it, of course, refers to Esav, and the Torah is purposely disconnected the action from him. He lost the sense of the purpose of his activities. The Eved Hashem, I want to tell guys about the schedule in yeshiva, and you'll hear this. When a guy goes to shiur for 10 minutes in the morning, he creates a whole day. And I want to explain it. Thank you, Avi. A guy goes to shiur for 10 minutes in the morning, has created an entire day. You could ask guys who've done this, you think he got 10 minutes. He goes to Rabbi Snicky's shiur for 10 minutes. A 10th grader goes to Rabbi Zon. I've watched this for 15 minutes, Yisrael. He's made a day. I want to explain it. I've seen this, and this will resonate by some of the guys here. Yisrael, tell me if you've noticed this. You have a guy's an empty day. His activities don't matter. He wakes up 4 in the afternoon, he goes to sleep 4, and he's bored, he's disconnected. If you would tell that guy, go to Rabbi Zone shiur for 15 minutes, and you'll have a day. What are you talking about? I have 15 minutes. It's still, all of a sudden, he wakes up in the morning, and before Rabbi Zone shiur, he eats a breakfast, very important breakfast. He's going to shiur. His breakfast became very chashuv. It's an eternal breakfast he's preparing before shiur. His shower in the morning, he gets a shower, he gets a breakfast. His breakfast is meaningful and important and attached to him. A person of mission, a person who's about to study Torah, a person who counts and matters, goes to breakfast. He has a wonderful breakfast. He sits there for about an hour, he's schmoozing with different people, is actually inspired. His whole breakfast, like a serious breakfast. He goes to shiur 15 minutes. After shiur, he eats a lunch. A guy who just had a breakfast, a guy who just went to shiur. Now Pashut has a lunch. He gets lunch, breakfast on his workout in the afternoon. He has to get ready. Tomorrow's another day. He's going back to shiur again tomorrow. He gets a workout. Everything in his day became meaningful to somebody who's connected, whose activities matter. He's learning Hashem's Torah. He's finding out about his importance. He's finding out about his mission. All his other activities take on meaning and purpose and value. I have watched this repeatedly. If a guy learns 5 hours a day, then forget it. A guy learns 5 hours a day, his day is like packed full of meaning. He gets breakfast, lunch, he gets a supper, he gets everything, all the activities that surround. But it's not just because it's a hachana and heichatimsa for that, though that's true. It's a person who's tapping into his sense of mission, of purpose. On Yaakov Avinu, it says, Yaakov nasan le'esav lechem nezir adashim. Yaakov Avinu handed Esav. It's an eternal pasuk attached to his name, the person who performed the deed, and forever we read that. And all his deed he handed to Esav. It's a big deal. It's announced dramatically. And Esav, who's lost the sense of his purpose and mission, lost the attachment to Torah, if you will. Anochi haylech lamas, lama zeli b'chayra. He's lost his attachment to eternity. His sense Hashem wants something from me. Hashem has given me a mission and a purpose. On Esav, it doesn't say in the same pasuk. It's vayoicha vayesht, vayakam vayelech. Who? It doesn't say you did all these activities. He's lost his connection to his activities. Doesn't even matter. You could literally watch this play out on somebody. He ate breakfast, lunch, supper. He doesn't even sense it. Does it even matter? He learns 15 minutes a day, a half hour, all the activities, all of a sudden take on a purpose. You could literally broadcast, and so went to the dining room to eat. Very, very hush of a breakfast. Very, very, the breakfast of a Ben Torah. People talk about watching Rav and David eat breakfast in the mirror. Stacking up those pieces of bread, and Rav Aaron ate breakfast. The importance, the Eved Hashem, and each activity of the Eved Hashem that matters, that's significant, and that's eternal. I find in this pasuk, when the Torah describes to us a Yaakov Avinu who's running after his mission, and an Esav who's detaching from a sense of mission, Anochi Hailech Lamus, I'm not shaykh to eternity, and then the pasuk describes each of their behaviors, and in Yaakov Avinu describes Yaakov Nasan LeEsav. The names are given. It matters that Yaakov gave. It matters to whom he gave. It matters that he gave. It matters what he gave. Yaakov Nasan LeEsav Lechem and Ezir Adashim. Every part of the experience, this physical experience, he was serving food, my friends. And it was serving food to his brother. It matters eternally. It's Torah forever. Yaakov gave Esav Lechem and Zir Adashim. It matters who gave. It matters to whom he gave. It matters what he gave. That's the beginning of the pasuk. Yaakov Nasan Esav Lechem and Zir Adashim. And then the person who's lost the sense of attachment to his action. Anochi Hailech Lamus. The actions still happened, but he lost the sense of meaning to the actions. Who? What? What did he? Doesn't even say what he ate. He ate. But he's lost the sense of it matters what he ate, that he ate, who ate it. So just I think the opportunity for every learner of Torah, for everybody who plugs in for 15 minutes or an hour or 10, is the understanding that Hashem has something that he wants from me. And all the activities of my life, the Eved Hashem, who Hashem has something that he wants, a godliness that he wants me uniquely to bring to the world. All my activities matter a lot. It's interesting, sometimes the extreme brings it out for even the person not living in that extreme, to watch the young guy in yeshiva and his day and the meaning of his day form. Other things start mattering. Yisrael, you've experienced this when a guy like adds and gets it, that there's a sense of the guy who's in Rai with Snicky Shir, and you've watched this, all of a sudden his workout is like a very important workout. It's in context of a day, somebody functioning and serving and building something. His workout's very important. His league game's very important. His eating, it's important what he ate, how he ate, that he ate. Every detail becomes important. I think this pasuk like drives it home, the difference of somebody who's Hailech Lamas, who has lost his attachment to the divine, to Hashem. He ate, he drank, he got up and he left. And that's the description of the activities of his life, to the person who's attached to mission, who has bought B'chaira. B'chaira is the possibility of serving Hashem. On that person, and Yaakov gave to Esav Lechem and Ezir Adashim. Every detail of his activities, who gave, to whom he gave, and what he gave, all matter significantly. So it should be Hashem's will. It should be Hashem's will. All of us were a Yisro. Esav was shaykh to this also. He was a Yisrael Mumer. That's what happened in this pasuk. All of us should be zeicha to attach to our Torah, to our sense of mission, to our sense, Yisrael v'Yirei Sechadu, what we have to bring out. And as such, all the activities of our life, our travels, our journeys, our walking, should all be significant. They should be attached to us. He went. There's a certain... I was talking to my son about even a guy goes to the coffee and gets, there's a certain dignity, there's a certain presence, each activity matters and is significant. We should all tap into our Torah, and all the activities of our life should be very, very attached to us, important to us, and to recognize it's recorded. Kol Masech b'Sefer Nechtavim. All the activities of the life of the servant of Hashem are eternally relevant. Nice.
Chill. My first semester that I was there for the whole thing.
Yeah, so much.